Hey, welcome back to Mary Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all, and I invite you all to come on in and do the same with me. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Like, have you looked in the mirror today and you feel a-okay with what you see looking back at you? Yes, honey, you are on point. If not, do what you must to get back to a healthier you, right? All right, before we get into it, go ahead, hit thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and let's just dive right in. So, Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 18. All right, I'm so ready for the season to be over with, and I know I cannot be by myself in this thinking, because, honey, what are we really doing right now? So, anyways, we open up with the couples returning from their Gatlinburg retreat, right? We see Nicole and Chris talking about which of the couples made the biggest strides. And Nicole says that she notices that when she and Chris have these conversations, that they never put themselves into the equation. Like when they're talking about all the other couples and who are making strides in their relationships, they always leave themselves out. And so Nicole said, that they should acknowledge the growth that they are making as well. And I agree, always celebrate the little wins as well as the big ones. But y'all, this is my thing. Why are y'all even discussing the other couples though? Like you got your own relationship, your own marriage to kind of worry about, you know what I'm saying? So why compare yourselves or talk about who's, making the biggest strides or whatever. So anyway, I forgot Nicole was an honorary expert, so maybe that's why those conversations are happening in their home. Anyway, she brings up how Chris has never used the safe word. Y'all remember how in the beginning when they first got married, Nicole came up with this safe word, pineapples. I think pineapples are just her thing. So she came up with this safe word that for him to use if she gets to be too much, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's her cue to, hey, tone it down, calm down, center yourself, do whatever you got to do, right? And so Chris said, you know what? Honestly, let's just get rid of this this word completely. Like, he was just like, let's just get rid of pineapples altogether. Like, literally and figuratively, because like their home is full of pineapples. So they go around sweeping up all the doggone apartment of all the pineapples, you know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. So they're not gonna use the code word. The department's not gonna be decorated with pineapples, so that's that on that. It was nothing big. My biggest takeaway from this whole scene was, why were they putting their dirty clothes back up in the closet? Like, they literally were unpacking their suitcases in the middle of the closet floor and taking things from the suitcase and putting it on the hangers in the closet. Like, why? That was my whole takeaway from the scene, baby, because that was just disgusting. But anyways, we go on. We see Aries and Jasmine in their bed. And so Aries thanks her for making the couples retreat lit. It was litty. Okay, so he wants to thank her for making it fun for him. And he said that he was happy for them. He says that she has shown improvement with working on the things that they discussed. And I'm just like, who are you to discuss somebody's improvement as if you don't need to work on things? But yeah, but anyway, he did go on to ask her, well, what does she need from him? Because, like, literally, I was side-eyeing him. Like, what do you mean? What you got going on? So she said for him, she just needs him to continue to create a safe space for her, and she wants them to increase their intimacy. Y'all, when she said that, this fool basically was telling her that he wants her to initiate that then. Like the intimacy. Like, seriously, Aries, seriously. So we are 5 days until decision day, right? And so Clint, we see Clint, he riding out with Hank, baby, his ace boon coon. So he gets in his confessional, and literally Hank was all he talked about. Hank the dog. So, I mean, Hank is going to come away from this season being famous. That's about it. Hank has gotten his whole doggy commercial for a whole season. So, anyway, he said they have a full-on bromance. So we see him at the Starbucks, and he even ordering little Hank a little pup cup. And so Clint said Hank definitely loves him more than Gina. I said, and does, but that also works in the reversal, Clint. You love Hank a lot more than you love Gina. Anyway, we see Kirsten is out with her brother, right? They're eating or something, catching up with some lunch. But, of course, they're talking about her relationship with Shaquille. And she tells him that things have kind of just been up and down, that the communication is still a thing, and that they're not having intentional conversation like, what are their plans after decision day? She said that she is still undecided about either continuing the marriage or not continuing. She also said that, they're really just existing together in the same household, right? And so the brother said he has to learn how to separate his job, his marriage, his school, because he has a lot on his plate, and he just has to learn how to find balance with that. Right? And so Kirsten said that she needs to definitely bring him around the family. So she's going to plan something for the family to get together so that Shaquille can finally meet her family. But then she goes on to say, well, it's just going to be her brother and her mom. No other family. Especially not their daddy. Her brother even calls dad the judge. So he kind of seems like he probably rules with a stern fist or something. But yeah, it's something going on with them dynamics. Like, that she really doesn't want to bring Shaquille around until she no. So she said she just wants to feel that they are meant to be, and she isn't feeling 100% about that as far as either moving forward with him or not. So anyway, we see Chris meeting up with his brother. So they go to like this vintage car place, right? It was cool. And they're just hanging out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like a lot of neat stuff. Like I never really even knew that existed in Nashville. Nashville is just like a hop, skip, and a jump away from me. So I go there often, but I never knew of that place. And I guess maybe because I'm not a big car person either, but this seemed pretty interesting, like something I wouldn't mind going to and checking out. So nevertheless, they're hanging out there, right? Chris tells him that Nicole does have like this more intense personality than he does. So they kind of balance each other out in that essence because he's more reserved and laid back. Right? So Chris also talks about how much Nicole needs validation and how, straining that is. And it was like a lot more in the beginning of the relationship. And so he just kind of questions, can he see himself with her for the rest of his life? Right? Like, will the happiness last? So that's all they pretty much talk about. Can I just insert right here that Chris and his brother with all that yellow hair, they look just alike. Like if you were to remove their hair like that, take his yellow hair away because it's very distracting. Take Chris's facial hair. They really look just alike, especially by the mouth, baby. Anyway, Next, we see Clint and McKinley. Like, McKinley, why are you even here? So they're working out together, right? Max said he's surprised that Gina and Clint are working out because they're both some pretty good looking people, right? Emphasis on the Gina because baby, he goes on to talk about how he and Gina have things in common. Like he done got his own confessional and everything. Like, why are you still getting airtime at this point? I'm just saying, man, you been gone, you been done, your marriage is over with. But nevertheless, he's in the confessional, pointing out all the things that will make him and Gina compatible. Like he keeps saying, we're both entrepreneurs. We're both hardworking. We're both goal oriented. We're both not big partiers. I.e., Clint is a big partier. Where you think he got that from? All right. So he starts to say that we're both attracted to each other, right? But then he cut himself off before finishing. And then he goes on to say, well, I find her attractive and I think she finds me attractive. Nah, boo, you had it right when you said we're both attracted to each other. Because, baby, when you said that let me know right then and there that you and Gina have been talking already. You already know she's attracted to you. You've already told her that you are attracted to her. And she's already give you the rundown of all the things that she doesn't like about Clint. I.e., we're both not big partiers. You can't tell me y'all ain't already been talking. Don't try to clean it up now talking about, well, I'm attracted to her and I think. Did y'all catch that? He did. He was just like, well, we're both attracted. Well, I'm attracted to her and I think she's attracted to me. Anyway, he goes on to say he thinks that the two of them should have been matched. And hold on, you all. I have to go plug my laptop in. Be right back. All right, guys. I got it now. I got it. Okay. Commercial break. All right, guys. So, anyway. So, yeah, he says that he thinks the two of them should have been matched, right? And that if she wasn't married already, that they would probably go on a date. I said, listen. Y'all already have made plans once this decision day is to go on a date. Like, I guarantee Mac will be outside waiting on Gina to come out of that building or wherever they gonna meet up for the whole decision day. As soon as she say no, she walking to their main car like, don't do me. You will be outside waiting on her, McKinley. That's why Gina on camera is making sure that, like, she is giving nothing to Clint. Like, absolutely nothing. Because she don't want it to be no misunderstanding when she falling your arms. She don't want to hear you talking about, well, but you hugged him. What did you mean by that? Or y'all did this. I saw y'all hold the hands when we watched the bed. Like, was there really something? Like, Gina, you ain't fooling me. And here, McKinley is not either. So anyway, so back to the two of them working out, right? So Clint asks him if he's dating it or if there's anyone special, right? So McKinley was just like, no, not really, but he is dating. And I was just like, Clint, it is. It's somebody special, all right? It's your wife. But McKinley really wants to know about Gina and Clint. You know, he really trying to get the scoop. He trying to peep Clint. And I ain't like that. Like, I don't like that. Like, that's just downright dirty. Downright dirty. You in that man's face, knowing you're talking to his wife behind his back. And then to go even so far as to act like you're interested in like how the two of them are doing, like, I ain't like that. Not at all. Not at all. McKinney, you the pits in my book for just for that alone. Like, that's dirty. And not to say that I don't feel like you and Gina should date, because I mean, obviously you don't know Clint like that. Like, y'all don't have that long-standing relationship where you could respect somebody he's dated and not date them. And obviously, he and Gina are not going to work out. We know that. It's going to be a no on decision day. But to kind of just be sneaky like that and go behind his back because you're in his face and then you're trying to peep him out for information, for one. And I hate that. I hate when people just try to peep you for information. Just come right out and ask what you want to know. But I don't like that. I don't like how you're doing it, how y'all moving. Y'all could respect the fact and wait till everything is clear and then do what you do. Or not even just come back in his face like that. Don't be pretending like you cool. You know what I'm saying? That I ain't like that, man. I ain't like that. But anyway, so next up, we see Shaquille, right, talking to his friend through the FaceTime of it all. And so Shaquille tells him that his marriage on a scale is right now about a 6 or a 7. Shaquille said, we're growing, but we're not growing together. Right? He says he's waiting on that connection. And so his friend said, that connection that you're talking about, this like a lifelong journey. Like, it's not going to happen in a period of time. It's something that happens over time. Right? So he was just like, you have to be patient. So that the discussion of family comes up, right? And we all know how Shaquille is feeling about that and not being able to meet Kirsten's family. So he just said he's been intentional with her as far as including her in his family, but that is just not being reciprocated on her end, right? Anyway, next up, we see Jasmine and Jenna, right? They done gone to take this pole dancing class. And so Jasmine said, they're doing it because their husbands haven't really been attracted to them. So, they just kind of want to get their sexy back. And I'm thinking like, baby, it was never gone, Jasmine. You just need to own that ish, regardless of if your husband like you or not. Like, shit. You are you, regardless of him, boo. But anyways, so they do they do their little thing, right? It was fun. We see them, hey, I ain't gonna talk about nobody. It is what it is. So at some point, Eris comes in, right? And I'm like, why are you even here? So he said he wanted to surprise her is his reason. I'm just like, y'all know there was a planned thing. So he basically clears the room because the instructor leaves. Gina leaves. And so he has himself a little seat. And he tells her to take it from the top. Dance for me. Basically. And I'm like, this is my thing. This is my thing, y'all. I'm all for doing stuff like that for your boo, whatever. But I'm just not feeling how Eris was moving. Like, I think it was just like the whole aura of him, like the whole, how he just been moving all season. And then for you to come in and just kind of be demanding in that moment. And I don't know. I ain't like it. I just did not like it. Like, you haven't been wanting her, and then just to come and invade her time with her girl, and then just to sit back like she owes you something, like you just that person, like you just the king, like, you do it. Drop it like it's hot. Like, I just didn't like that whole feel. I didn't. He wasn't doing it for me, baby. Then he gonna pull out some dollar bills and start making it rain or whatever. Like, Like, and I ain't like that either. Like, mm-mm. But, hey, not my sink, not my dishes, right? Well, baby, Jasmine loved it. She looked pleased as hell. And I was just like, girl, he's doing nothing but sexualizing you. That's all that's happening right now. Anyway, then we see Shakia. He at the apartment making breakfast for dinner. Kirsten comes in and she kind of jumps in to help. So they're cooking together. And sir, I will say I love seeing them in this dynamic. Like the two of them just talking and cooking and interacting together in that moment. I just love to see stuff like that. But anyways, so yeah, so the both of them are making them some dinner. And so, of course, they're talking, like I said. And so she brings up the talk she had with her brother. And she tells him that she's decided to invite the family over for a little gathering, right? So he asks her, well, why does she think it took a while for that to happen? And she just said, because people are working. And Shakia said, well, I believe in people making time for the things they want to make time for. And Shakia, I have to agree with you on that one. Like, because I mean, let's just face it, they do. If it's something you really want to do, you're gonna make time to do it, no matter how busy you are. And I mean, and even in their case, it has literally been 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And you, in 2 months, haven't found the time, an evening and a weekend. And I don't know, because I know schedules can be all over the place as far as like work schedule, people working morning, night, just, so, but at some point, you had some off days. Every off day ain't been busy with running errands, catching up, resting. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I don't care if it was just for 30 minutes. You drop in, you say hello, just checking in on y'all, making sure everything's okay, and you pop on up out of there. But anyway, he wants to know if it's him, the reason why he's not being able to meet the family, or is it them? Basically, like, is it me or is it them? So that's basically what he's asking Kirsten. Kirsten kind of shuts all the way down, and she gets real, like, flat with her answers, and flat and short. Like, she just shuts down. She's just like, no, it's scheduling. And he said for 2 months, she said it's scheduling. So at this point, yeah, she just kind of shut down emotionally. So, Shaquille gets in his confessional and said, it's weird. It's weird that if she's asking her family to stop by and they are not, knowing that she's married to a man, it's just weird. Shaquille, it's not really weird. It's the fact that she's really not asking them. She asking her, baby, because like I said earlier, it's something with their family dynamic. Kirsten is hiding and she does not want to know. She does not want to air because y'all know Kirsten likes to put up a facade. And so it's something that she does not want the public to know, or even Shaquille. And so she is just not. I don't think she's asking. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a matter of them just not, like he said, you make time for you make time for the things you want to make time for, and in 2 months you're gonna say you have not? Unrealistic. I believe she's just not asking. So anyway, she did go on to say that she wants Shaquille to make her feel like he likes her. Apparently, she's not feeling like Shaquille likes her. She doesn't feel that spark. She said, when you come home, I don't feel like you want to be here. And then we get these flashbacks, right? Of Shaquille coming home and not really being interactive. Like, he's being responsive to her. Like if she says hello, or he's saying hello, how are you? You know, that kind of thing. So he's being responsive, but not very engaged, and like he's not continuing into a whole conversation. And I was just like, is it me? I didn't really find it to be a big deal, because some people need that time to just decompress after work. And me, I'm one of the people, like, I don't really want to do the whole conversation thing. Like, give me a moment just to woosah, like shower, get my head together, and just exhale. And then let me come out and deal with my family or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just like, just give me a moment. So, especially like in a field where you work with several different types of personalities, like you just need that. Like me, I'm a mental health nurse, baby, and it gets crazy. Yes. So sometimes you just want that moment of silence, decompress, and then you go out and you deal with your family. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know there are moments when you just have to, like, you come in the house and things are like boom, 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 and you don't have to grab that time. But if you can, just do it. You know, like, I saw, for me, it wasn't a big deal. Like, because it wasn't like he was being rude, like not being responsive to her or anything. Like, I didn't take it that way. But anyway, that's just me. Um, um, she said, you know, we're just existing sometimes. We're in the same room and not talking, not touching. And so we get more flashbacks. And again, it was just normal to me. Do you always have to be talking and touching? Like, every moment to me doesn't have to be intertwined with your significant other. Like, it's okay to sit in the same room and be doing different activities, which is what we saw. Like, we saw her sitting, and I think she was maybe folding clothes and he was reading, or maybe on his phone or something. So again, it was not a big deal to me, because I'm one of the people, like, every moment doesn't have to be intertwined. Like, it's healthy to be able to still be able to do activities of your own. But, I mean, if y'all are still even doing those different things, but in the same room, to me, that's still time together. You know what I'm saying? But just enjoying different things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, hey, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Uh... They did at one point show them having dinner together, and I think he was on his phone at the dinner table. Now, I don't like that. Like, put your phones down. Like, dinner time is a good time to engage with one another, breaking bread together. So, you know, but just every single moment you're in a home, you want it to be engaging together. Like, to me, that's just unrealistic. So anyway, to me, that just kind of becomes codependent if you're expecting every moment to be intertwined like that. Yeah. So anyway, he said he never knew that she felt like that this is the first time he's hearing it. And so they just kind of agreed to work on that, right? We see Dr. Pepper. She said that she sent Jasmine and Aries a surprise, since they're at the point of kind of opening up and being more open to their intimacy levels, right? So she sent them a basket of like foreplay stuff, like handcuffs, feathers, a massager, blindfolds, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he ends up putting on the blindfold, and so she starts tickling his little ashy feet with the feather. And then they kind of switch. She put on the blindfold. He does hers. We see her massage his back. It wasn't really nothing, but at one point he did ask her, would she ever be a dominatrix, right? And I'm just like, nah, Aries, that is not Jasmine's ministry. That is not, boo-boo. So, but anyway, he gonna say, you know, let's try it. slap me. And so he was just like, on the count of 3. Like, he gonna count her down. So he does that, and she gives him a little slap. And he was like, harder. So she do it a little bit harder. He's like, harder. Like, look at me all sensual and slap me harder. I'm just like, oh. Girl, baby, it was just pure foolishness. Anyway, moving on. So we are 4 days now until the decision day. And we get Nicole talking to her dad on the phone. And of course, the topic is decision day. So the dad was pretty much like, what can I tell you? What can I say? It's your decision to make. And I'm like, Dad, it is. You know what I'm saying? But he did say that he will support any decision that he makes. He's really come around to Chris, and he feels like he's an all right type of guy. So, you know, whatever she decides, he's there to support her. So she brings up their living situation and how she's stressing out about them finding a place post-decision day, right? So the dad did say that living separately would be like a step back for them. And so apparently also, so apparently, although Chris had said that while they were at the retreat, you know, Chris had said that they would talk about things when they got back from Gatlinburg. Well, apparently that has not happened. At least it seems like it hasn't from Nicole's conversation with her dad. But that's pretty much all we got for them. So we see Gina taking Clint to get a haircut next, right? So we find out he's just pretty much been maintaining his own hair. He cuts it at his leisure. You know, he doesn't really go out and have it done. So this is something that's kind of out of his comfort zone. So Gina is sitting there the whole time. He's getting his hair done, talking about, oh, you're already looking better. I'm just like, oh, you judging him yet again. You know. Oh, goodness. But anyway, the finished look, she swore he looked a lot better. He got swag now. And so I'm just like, it looked the same to me pretty much. Like, you know who. Shaquille and Kirsten, we see them up next. And when I say they looked good, they really did look amazing. Like, they had their royal blue. And so when we first see them, though, all we see is Shaquille putting Kirsten's shoes on for her. And so I'm just wondering where they are going. So, y'all, they went to church to sit in an empty sanctuary. An empty sanctuary. Say what now? I'm like, what in the world is going on? I don't get it. I really don't get it. So they're just sitting there and they're talking. And I was just like, did they really get dressed up to just go sit in some empty pews just for the optics of it all? So I'm just, only thing I guess maybe this is like after church and they waited till everybody cleared out the sanctuary to just go in there and film. But I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, so they just kind of discussing wanting to keep Christ in their relationship, making sure they go to church together, yada, yada, yada. That's pretty much what happened right there. Then we jump from the church to a psychic. So we get Jasmine and Aries going to see a medium. And it was supposedly all Jasmine's idea. I've never been to one. Don't really care to go to one. But hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. She told Aries that he's still, now this is the medium. When I say she. So she told Aries that he's still trying to figure out who he is. She then told Jasmine that she is full of fear. And so at one point she connects with Eris's great grandmother, I think it was. And so the great grandmother tells her to let Eris know that she is waiting for him to get married. She wants him to have babies, and that Jasmine is a good woman. She likes her because she has an old soul. The medium then tells Jasmine to be patient with Eris because he's a good man, but he has a lot of growing up to do. And he does. I don't know about the good man part, but he does. He has a lot of growing up to do. So that was pretty much it for that. And I don't know. This sounds like some stuff they probably got from production. Like, y'all, we've seen this before. I think it was with y'all remember Jasmine and her old boy, I can't remember his name, but I think they were the ones. But anyway, it ain't nothing I'll take for face value. So we see Kirsten and Shaquille having a gathering. I don't know what it is, like, because it really ain't a gathering. Because the only person that's showing up is her mom. Brother didn't come. And so they're sitting down and eating. And Shaquille again said, you know, it's just weird that it's just her mom and no one else. So Kirsten, when her mama came in, I said, Kirsten must really look like her dad, because we have now seen the brother and the mom. And those two look alike, but they look nothing. Kirsten looks nothing like them to me. Like, I don't really see a resemblance of her in their brother or their mom, although the two of them look alike. So the mama asked them, how is their marriage going? Well, I really think she was talking to Shaquille. But she wants to know how the marriage is going, right? And so Shaquille was very, he speaks up, and he gives like this analogy of Kirsten and how she came into the marriage with this brick wall up. And he said he was being very persistent and diligent with taking that wall down brick by brick. But now he's questioning, did he put a wall up himself in the process? Like, did he use her bricks that he was taking down to build his own brick wall? And so her mom was pretty much just like, let them expectations go. That's the best thing y'all can do. Let it go. And I kind of agree, albeit it's probably difficult, but letting those expectations go would take away so much disappointment. She said, just enjoy each other. Joy comes from living and not expecting. I like that. Gotta write that one down. Y'all know me. Joy comes from living and not expecting. Anyway, Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal, they come to visit Gina and Clint. I said, okay, for the double team of it all. So they're really trying to get this success rate up. I see of these couples that stay together, or at least say yes on decision day. And anyway, insert, I do see a difference in Clint's hair now that I guess it just needed to dry or whatever. But I do see the difference. Oh, so Dr. Pepper wants to know if they've been doing the homework she assigned, like watching them doggone movies, driving Miss Daisy. Miss Dr. Pepper, like, it's a good movie. It really is. I liked it. I probably have seen it more than once. I will say that. But and not for this situation. It does have a theme of like a deep friendship, and I kind of see why she maybe would suggest it, but for their marriage, it ain't working. It ain't working. Like, I don't see it for this situation. Good movie, I don't see it for this situation. So anyway, Clint said they had, and it was just a time thing, which is why they never kind of got to it. Pastor Cal said their body language says that they look comfortable with each other, and they both agree that they're comfortable with one another. But Gina did say that her feelings just haven't progressed past the friendship. And Dr. Pepper points out, well, y'all were kissing and touching at the wedding, and so she questions if that was even real. Gina said it was more of being in the moment, but definitely not a physical thing. And so Clint kind of chimes in, and he says it was more of like expectations, like your family was there, you had the crowd there, and just knowing that these are the things that happen at a wedding. So Dr. Pepper, I said Dr. Pepper on that ass. So she's like, well, did you do that for the expectations, or did you feel any kind of pull towards each other, right? So for Clint, he said it was a little bit of both. And so, insert, y'all. Got another insert. With all the flashbacks that they were doing in this moment back to their wedding, I forgot just how aesthetically pleasing they actually look together. Like, they really make a nice looking couple. Yeah, they really do. They were so, they looked amazing on their wedding day. They really did. But anyway, so Pastor Cal asked them if what they want out of life is compatible with each other. So Clint said that there's lines that blend and that there are lines that kind of deviate. So Gina brings up how for her, there just hasn't been a physical attraction, but there also has not been a personality like attraction. Like, she's not attracted to his personality. There have been stuff she said that just doesn't match up with her personality. So of course, Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal wants to know, well, what kind of personality traits are you talking about? What type of things are you meaning? So she brings up how Clint is wild and outrageous, and he's the life of the party. And she said she's grown to love that about him. But at first, it was almost like a secondhand embarrassment for her. I was just like, so let me get this right, Gina. You say you've grown to love that about him, but now you're saying it's a personality clash. Like, I don't get it. Like, Gina, what do you mean? And then she brings up how she's never felt like a wife. And I'm thinking, like, well, was it reciprocated? Were you ever treating him like a husband? Like, it has to go both ways. Pastor Cal asked her if he had treated you like a wife according to your terms, would they have changed things? And I was just like, it wouldn't, and she knows it would not have. So, but she just kind of shrugged her shoulders like, I don't know, as if to say, I don't know. Dr. Pepper asked Clint, what does he think? He said, I don't know. He says, he's questioning if he's taking on the full duties of a husband. And so before he can finish talking, Gina interrupts and is like, well, what are those duties? Like, what are duties of a husband? And so he said he does like thoughtful things like cooking her dinner. And then Gina interrupts again. And she's like, you're cooking for Clint, but not necessarily for me, not for Gina. And I'm like, girl, you eating? Like, are you not? You are eating. What's the problem? And so she's kind of saying he's cooking because he enjoys it, but not because he's trying to do something special for her. I'm like, girl, are you serious right now? Like, come on. So Dr. Pepper was like, I see what you're saying, but what could he have done differently to say, I see Gina and this is what she really likes? Y'all, Gina said, I don't know. She said, I do not know. I just know there was no intentionality intentionality there. Intentionality. There you go. Intentionality there. And I'm like, well, if you don't know, how do you expect somebody else to know, Gina? And that's real talk. Like real talk. If you don't know, if you cannot express your needs, your wants, your desires, your expectations, how do you expect someone to meet it or to feed that desire? You know what I'm saying? Answer that call. Like, how do you expect that? Are you expecting someone to keep trying all these different tactics until they get it right? Like, that is unrealistic, and it exhausting. It sounds exhausting just saying it. Like, what do you really expect? So, Clint in his confessional, you can tell he's just he feels blindsided, basically, is what he said. And he's just like, why is this just now coming up? He said he would take ownership of not acting in full capacity as a husband should, but he was sidelined with everything else that Gina had to say. He felt attacked. Anyways, that's kind of where we leave off with that conversation. And that was it, y'all. That was basically it. Now I guess we're gonna have one more episode before decision day. Like, this season is really dragging, but I hope you all enjoyed this review. And as always, I'm going to pray for my YouTube family. I ask that y'all continue to pray for me as well. And we will watch God change things. I love you all, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Bye.